This overlooked card from Silver Tempest has a lot of power and potential. Roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? Hitmon Channing here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game, online deck tech, and today I want to talk about my Klinklang Box deck. This deck is super cool, it's a lot of fun to play, and it is unexpectedly strong, and I'm going to be toying with this archetype a lot in the future, while I try and have some fun in the current standard format. So what is the hype around Klinklang? What does this card do? Well, it has the Triple Gears ability. It says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. This card is super powerful, but it has a catalyst. It's on a stage 2. And when people see stage 2, they get a little bit scared. Now, how can we make this stage 2 Pokemon a little bit more viable? Well, we try and make it as consistent as possible. And that's where my Metal Box comes into play. We are playing 4 Battle VIP Pass, we're playing 4 Rare Candy, and we're playing some other kind of underutilized cards in this deck, and I'm very excited to go through all of it right now. So we're going to start with the Klinklang line. We have a 3-1-3 line of Klinklang to accelerate our energy. Klinklang is also good against single price attackers because it can be an attacker itself. 3 energy for 130 damage just off the fly is pretty good against those pesky Lost Box decks, as well as Miltank that might get in your way. Now, what are our other attackers in this deck? What other Pokemon do we have in here? Well, we have a 1-1 line of Aegis VMAX. Aegis VMAX has that max hack attack for 3 energy, 2 metal, 1 colorless. It does 160 plus 30 more for each prize card you have taken. So basically, the more ahead you get in the game, the more damage you will do. And I think that's a very powerful tool to have at your disposal. Especially helps you against one-shotting Kyurem VMAX. But our main attacker that we're going to be using, or one of them anyway, is going to be Aggron V. It has the Merciless Strike attack for 5 energy, does 150, but if your opponent's Pokemon has already damage counters on it, this attack does 150 more damage. Now, this is a really good attack. Rock Slide also really good as well for 1 metal, 2 colorless, 90 and 30 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Some spread is never bad, but Aggron VMAX is also a really cool card. For a single metal, 2 colorless, Cracking Stomp, you can do 150 and discard the top card of your opponent's deck. This is a very strong attribute to have on an attack, especially in a meta where Oranguru is used to stack the deck a lot. You can immediately get rid of that card with Aggron VMAX. And Max Takedown, also pretty good for the same energy cost, or almost the same energy cost as Merciless Strike. You're going to be doing 270 flat and only taking 30 damage to yourself. So Aggron VMAX, very strong in here. We're also playing a 1 copy of Zacian V with the Intrepid Sword ability and the Brave Blade attack. I'm sure everybody's very familiar with this card by now. Intrepid Sword, a very strong ability in the early game. Brave Blade, a very strong attack. And Zamazenta V, we're playing 2 of, but 2 different versions. We have one Zamazenta V with Regal Stance, which lets you discard your hand and draw 5 cards and end your turn. And it also has Revenge Blast, which is very good if you tend to trail behind in the games. We also have the other Zamazenta V from Sword and Shield base set. It has the Dauntless Shield ability, and it can wall out some decks that play VMAX Pokemon, like Kyurem VMAX. This deck can kind of just wall out and not take any damage from Kyurem. It can limit Muse damage output. The only VMAX it'll get some trouble from is the Ralladon, because it has that shred effect on it. But Assault Tackle, also a very good attack for 130 damage. You can discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This can actually really be good against those Lugia decks. And now for our final Pokemon of this deck, we have Radiant Greninja with concealed cards to help us draw more cards. Like I said, we got the 4 Battle VIP Pass, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, and we were playing 4 Metal Saucers as well to help us attach those energies even quicker. 1 Ordinary Rod to get our attackers back into the deck, as well as 3 Quick Ball and 3 Ultra Ball so we can search our Pokemon out. 4 Rare Candy, like I mentioned before, as well as 2 Switch, because, you're going to need to switch your Zacians out of the active after they use Brave Blade, and also you don't want to get anything stuck. We're playing 2 copies of Training Court, so we can also keep our energy in check, and we're playing, this is the kind of trump card of this deck, 3 Adaman. Adaman allows you to discard 2 metal energy from your hand, but if you do, it's basically a Starbirth. You can search for any 2 cards and put them into your hand. They're very strong because you can search for, you guessed it, Rare Candy and Klinklang to get an immediate energy acceleration going basically as soon as turn 2. And then for our only other supporter in the deck, we're playing 4 copies of Serena. Serena acts as our boss's orders to bring up our opponent's bench Pokemon V, as well as our draw supporter, which lets us discard up to 3 cards from our hand and then draw until we have 5 cards in our hand. Other than that, we just play 1 choice belt, and we're playing 11 energy, pretty heavy on the energy count here because a lot of discarding going on, a lot of energy maneuvering going on. So this is a very, very good card to have in here. And yeah, that is basically going to be my Metal Box deck. We're going to hop into some games right now and see if Klinklang can lead us to some dubs. We get to call the coin flip. Once again, Tails never fails, as I always say. Man, you know, it seems whenever I record, Tails fails me. I don't know why. My opponent's going to get to choose who goes first. Hopefully they let us go first. Going first is really good with this deck. They're going to choose to go first, which is okay with me. And we got a decent start. We're going to start Zamazenta so we can Regal Stance, but we do have some cards I don't want to get rid of, like that Metal Saucer right there. Also, if we get something like, we're going to actually, never mind, we'll be able to Serena, so we can Serena away that Metal Energy and use Metal Saucer, but we're still going to start Zamazenta in the active, because Aggron's going to be the attacker we want to power up. But we'll see what we're playing against. It's got a Sobble, could be Urshifu, could be Inteleon, could be a lot of different things, could be Palkia. We're going to see the Quick Ball come out here, and now we're going to get to see what this deck's true colors are. There goes the Ice-U, and now I'm really interested to see what this will be. I think this is going to be a Palkia deck. Them getting rid of the Ice-U is pretty good, even though basic Pokemon aren't entirely like the priority of this deck. Like we can use Aggron VMAX, we can use Aegislash VMAX, and that's going to be a pretty simple turn 1 for my opponent. Makes me happy. I do like to see it. We will drop this Training Court, and we'll go for a Serena here, discarding Serena and an Energy. We can also get rid of this Klinklang, I think, and just draw a bunch more cards. We get that VIP pass, which is absolutely crucial. We can get Klink, and we can get Zacian V to come down here. I think that's what we want to do. We'll attach this to Aggron, Metal Saucer onto Aggron V, and now I just want to Intrepid Sword, and get another Serena, which is good. And yeah, we'll attach that energy. Why not? We'll attach that energy to Zacian and let my opponent have their go. Now, if we can somehow find a lot of metal energy, then we can go for a Adaman and get ourselves our Klinklang plus a switch, so we can get Aggron into the active and take some KOs going forward. But we're going to see what's going to happen here with my opponent. This next turn all depends on what they get on the bench. They have that Evo Incense, which is going to be for that Drizzile, and they'll be able to Shady Dealings for whatever they need to get. Any trainer card. Very, very powerful card that doesn't see a lot of play anymore because the format's even faster than this. But they're going to have an Energy Surge, which makes me think they're going to keep calling here. If they get something other than water, it could give away what they're playing. Oh, they do get water, so they're going to keep calling, and we're going to see what they grab. There's another Sobble, and that's all they got. Okay. Alright, you know what? Can't be mad at that. We're going to go for another Serena here, discarding 3 cards. Adamant, VIP, and Metal Saucer, unfortunately. We need to find that Klinklang, and we do find the Klinklang. And we can actually go ahead and attack with Zamazenta V here, because I think we get rid of Aggron VMAX. Could get rid of the energy as well. Yeah, we'll get rid of the energy and the Rare Candy. Yeah, we'll get rid of those two. Grab ourselves our good pal Klinklang. We can Rare Candy into Klinklang. And go for triple gears. Get 3 energy, put them all on Zamazenta V. Or actually, no, we're going for that Rock Slide play for sure. Because I forgot we have Training Court. So Training Court. We're gonna retreat. Opens up use for Metal Saucers too. Boom. Rock Slide. We're going to do 90, and we'll put 30 damage on each of these Sobble over here. So if they don't evolve them both, we can, you know, we can do some nasty damage to their bench. Ordinary Rod is pretty good considering we did discard a Klinklang, and also we got a bunch of metal in the discard. 2 metal in the discard. So you know what? My opponent's going to go for an Irida now. Okay, so they can find themselves some more Pokemon, and they're going to get a Manaphy. Learning from that attack, that's good. Making them drop that Manaphy is pretty good because it allows us to limit their bench space. And now they're gonna put an energy on that Drizzile, which makes me think this is more of a Drizzile, or not Drizzile, an Inteleon Box deck rather than something like Palkia V-Star. We'll have to see what they do here. They have a pretty sizable hand, but not much in it. An Ordinary Rod, likely that Sobble. Oh, and the ICU they're bringing back, and no energy. And that's just going to be their turn. Okay, so we're going to get the Hisuian Heavy Ball here. Just to take a peek at what we're working with. H/V VMAX in the prizes, it's important to note. Rare Candy, Metal Saucer, all important prizes there. But we're going to just Training Court here. Grab an energy, and we'll throw that on Zacian. And then we can just go for that Rock Slide, but I think we're going to evolve and go for Cracking Stomp instead. Just thin their deck a little bit more, hopefully limit their options here. See what we get to discard, a Level Ball, insanely good discard. And we do get H/V VMAX off of the prizes, so I can't be too mad about that. Now they likely have that Inteleon in hand, or they top decked it, who knows. She's gonna let them search for 2 cards and actually do some damage now. The only thing about Aggron VMAX is that Cracking Stomp, only this 150, doesn't take out Inteleon, which is gonna say, that sucks a little bit, but that's okay because we can actually come in with Zacian. If they try and boss something up, they're gonna boss up Zamazenta and go for an Aqua Bullet here. Okay, that's interesting. If they do that, I'm not mad at that actually, because we can just Regal Stance, we can sit pretty for a while. We have Aegis/V, that could be good as well. But I don't want to bench it just yet. We'll grab that energy, attach the Zacian. I don't want to Regal Stance, I just want Intrepid Sword here, and grab all these cards. Because if we Regal Stance, we would get rid of both Aegis/Slashes and also the Ordinary Rod. So I think just drawing more and filling our hand is just a little bit better in this scenario. Now, my opponent did grab a Cross Switcher off of that Shady Dealings Inteleon, so we're going to have to see. But they're just going to go for an attack, which I'm fine with, because we can just bring Zacian up and go for a Brave Blade, taking out that Inteleon. We're still going to be ahead of the prize trade here, which I'm not upset at. Now we'll drop the Klink. And now, do I want to drop the Aegis/? I don't know if I do particularly. I think we're just going to wait for now. And Brave Blade, taking out that Inteleon, taking ourselves a prize. I'm curious to see what they do here. If they have something like Articuno, Metal Energy is really good. We've got 6 energy in play right now. We do play 11 in the deck, so that's 7 energy accounted for. Another important note for playing decks that, every deck revolves around energy, obviously, but an important note for playing decks that the main focus of the deck is energy acceleration, such as Klinklang. Like, that's your main card of your deck, and every other attacker, every other card you build revolves around Klinklang. Is keeping account of your energy specifically is very, very important. Now, my opponent going to go for the Clara here, which is going to let them get their energy and a Sobble and Drizzile back into their hand. This is important to note. They're not playing Raihan, which would have let them attack with something like an Articuno here. Unless they're playing something wild like Turbo Patch, it looks like they're not going to get an attack off this turn, which is good for us because we can just go into our Aggron VMAX, we'll retreat Zacian, Cracking Stomp, and try and take down our opponent's board a little bit. We're going to have to see what my opponent grabs. They might be playing some sort of Radiant Charizard in here, which is going to be very interesting to look out for. They're grabbing that Quick Ball, so we're going to see what they have. They're going to scoop up this Drizzile, bring up the Manaphy, bench that Sobble, and I don't know if they're going to Quick Ball yet. If they don't Quick Ball, that leads me to believe they have that Radiant Charizard in their deck, ready to go, because they just gotta, or they're gonna Quick Ball now, getting rid of the water energy. Probably gonna be Palkia, that's my guess here, unless it's a completely single prize deck. But we're gonna have to wait and see what my opponent decides to do here. If we were able to top deck something like a Rare Candy, that would be really good. We're gonna grab a Mew. Okay, so I am starting to think this is just a single prize box style deck. They're gonna retreat that Manaphy, go into Mew and Mysterious Tail here. Now, I'm just a little bit interested to see what they grab. They're playing those Cross Switchers, got a pretty big hand. We don't have any hand disruption in our deck. They're going to grab that Level Ball, getting rid of Drizzile again if they need to next turn. Getting that energy back, and it looks like it's going to be a pass from here. They already attached, not much else they can do. And there's that Mew VMAX. Now, we have the Ultra Ball in our hand that we have access to. We've got 2 Rare Candy down, 1 in the prize. There's only 1 Rare Candy left. I'm thinking we go for that Cracking Stomp play and just try and discard something important. I know we're kind of feeding into it a little bit, but I think that's what we have to do. We can even drop that Aegis/Slash down, so we can have access to that Sonic Edge. I think that's what we'll do here. Then again, if we just keep Zacian, yeah, we'll retreat into Aggron. Metal Saucer onto Zacian. Attach here. Now we can actually go for an Ultra Ball. We'll get rid of both of these. No, we'll get rid of these two. I lied. And grab Radiant Greninja. Put that onto the bench. And now we're going to... We only got one energy there, so we'll grab ourselves an energy with the Training Court and concealed cards, drawing some more cards. There's Klang, which is really good to have. I'm going to play Serena, discard only H/V for a purpose, draw some cards. Pretty good here. Now we're going to Ordinary Rod, and we'll bring... Let's take a peek at the discard. I think we only have one energy in there. We're just going to do Pokemon and grab the H/V and VMAX and put them back into the deck. Now we're able to have Klinklang access next turn, but for this turn we have Cracking Stomp, doing 150, taking a knockout, and discarding a level ball from the top of my opponent's deck. Very good discard. Rare Candy, too little too late. We already have our second Klinklang. Usually you only use about 2 Klinklang per game in this deck because your attackers are very powerful in their own right. My opponent going to get that level ball. They're probably going to find the Drizzile, find that Quick Ball, get Radiant Charizard, get an Energy Search, get an Energy, and if they got that Scoop Up Net, they're going to knock out our Aggron VMAX, which is going to be a little bit of a tough go for us here. But then if we knock out that Charizard and they don't got a Clara, we are going to be smooth sailing, I think. We're just going to have to see what they decide to do. There's that Raihan play coming out, so they're going to have to evolve here. But them evolving both Pokemon is going to be very interesting. They're going to have to drop that Radiant Charizard. They don't have a choice. They're going to grab that Scoop Up Net, unless they're playing that that Articuno that paralyzes, for example. But in that case, we can just... Oh, they're just going to scoop? Yeah, I don't know what they were doing at that last turn. But it was a pretty good game, you know. Looks like we got a really good head start on them with Klinklang, and we were able to do quite a bit of damage to their board. We get to call a coin flip here. Tails never fails, as I always say. Unfortunately, has failed me. But we're going to get to go first, so you know what? I can't be too mad at that. We do have a really good starting hand, actually. We'll start with Zacian in the active. Going first, this is what you want to see. Opponent's got some grass deck box going on, so we'll see what they're playing. Oh, looks like we're going to be playing against the Durant Mill. Now, this is going to be very interesting. We don't need to do a whole lot of damage, so we might want to get the Zacian out of the active. But we're going to see what we are able to do here with our mulligan. We're going to get another a Klink is good. And Durant. Okay, so we can start loading up our bench. Get Zamazenta there. Attach and Intrepid Sword. We'll get another energy on Zacian. Awesome. Very good. First turn, I say. Next turn, we can go for that Serena, so we can discard some cards. As long as we can get an attack off, we are going to be in a really good spot. We do have our Klang in hand, so we're going to be able to evolve onto a Klink and at least secure a Klinklang for the next turn after. But depending on our Serena draw, we might be able to get a Klinklang going right away. Now, Durant is a very tough deck because we tend to, despite our limited draw power, we tend to go through the cards very quickly thanks to Adaman, Radiant Greninja, well, I guess that is draw power, and also some cards like, you know, Serena, and even Klinklang takes 3 energy from the deck, so you can take those 3 energy, that's 3 cards less you have, you know? So my opponent going to go for a pitch of Pyukumuku here. Pyukumuku's ability allows you to search for it with like a ball card, for example. You can then use the ability, put it to the bottom of your deck, and draw an extra card. So actually really good ability here. They're going to go for another level ball, maybe grabbing a Minchino. Oh, they're going to grab a Castform. Very interesting. Castform is going to be their free retreater in case a Durant gets knocked out. You don't really use it for anything else in this deck. And Durant, you know, very interesting deck. I do want to play it and make it work, but I have come across this peony build a couple of times throughout my preparing for this video, like getting the deck ready, testing the deck and whatever. So I'm pretty confident here, but they're able to get basically anything they want with peony. So looks like they might not be able to get an energy though, unless they search for like 2 energy lottos. And then we'll be in a pretty decent spot, I will say. We both have 42 cards left in deck. They're going to have 40 after this search. So we're still going to be pretty even. And basically, when you're versing Durant, the little tip is to get as much, like, just got to outrace them with their prizes. You want to be taking a prize every single turn. That's your goal. you need to take those prizes every single turn. That's what you have to do. Getting a Rose Tower and a Cursed Shovel, they're going to probably put that Cursed Shovel on the active, drop that Rose Tower, and draw 3 cards, hoping for a special energy in order to devour. Let's see if they got it. I'm not too sure they did. That is really good for us. And we top deck an Ultra Ball, which is also amazing. So we can drop that Klang there. We'll attach the Choice Belt to Zacian. I mean, why not? Now we can Ultra Ball, Aggron, and Adaman away. Because we're going to be going for the Serena here for sure. And now, what else should we grab? We can grab an Aggron V. Because if we're able to get our Klinklang off here, I'd ideally like to go for an Aggron Rock Slide play so we can potentially take a couple KOs at once. Drop that down. Oh, and they're just gonna scoop. Okay, you know what? That's fine with me. Hey, Klinklang Metal Box beats the Rant. You heard it here first. So what do you think of my Klinklang box deck? I think this deck is super fun to play. Very strong, actually. I would change a couple of things though after playing these games for the video and talking through all my moves and all that. So I'm gonna go through all that now. First thing, I would add a Drapion in here. This deck does not have a great time against Mew. Zamazenta V doesn't. The Dauntless Shield. There's too many V maxes with Shred that so that Zamazenta V walls them out. You know what I mean? So Zamazenta maybe not the best play here. You could replace Zamazenta with Drapion V and be on your way. This Zamazenta I think is crucial for that Revenge Blast attack. And Regal Stance is also really good in case your Zacian is prized and you can't get Hisuian Heavy Ball, for example. Another thing that I would try and add in here, I mean, obviously all the attackers are very swappable and very situational. You could swap Aegis / VMAX for Dialga V-Star. Because you don't have an active V-Star power in here. You absolutely, positively could do that. And you can even, you know what, if you wanted to make the deck solely more consistent, get rid of Aegis / V and VMAX, put in more consistency, like another Quick Ball or another Ultra Ball or another like Draw Supporter or something, and like a Forest Seal Stone or 2 Forest Seal Stones, so you have access to a V-Star power to pop whenever you need it. But Dialga could be another cool attacker in this deck. I might try it out with that, who knows. Could work out really well. The thing is you want to be getting that Star Chronos turn 2, and it's really hard to get it turn 2 with Klink. Or not with Klink, with any deck, for example. Even the Comfey deck is really difficult to do with Mirage Gates and all that. But nevertheless, it's possible, so we're going to give it a go and see how it goes. Other than that, I think that's all I'm going to change for this deck. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below, what do you think of this deck? What did you like? What did you dislike? What would you keep and what would you change? I'm always reading my comments and replying to every single one of them because I love to know what my community thinks about the decks that I build. So please let me know in the comments down below and subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel. I post 2 new Pokemon trading card game videos every single week, or at least 1 every single week. I try my best to hit 2, but sometimes it's hard, you know, life gets in the way of all that. But hey, we're on a good schedule and we're gonna get back on that good schedule, and that is a promise to all of my subscribers. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Hitmonchanting out.